Welcome back to Morning Footy. When looking at Europe's top 5 leagues in Champions League this year, the Premier League are doing the best right now with 39 points, and then that's followed by La Liga with 22, Bundesliga with 21, Serie A with 18, and Ligue 1 with 14 points. So let's take a look at how those teams actually look in the table. When you take a look, of course, you've got PSG, Bayern, Inter, Arsenal, Real Madrid, all perfect in this competition, and then that's then followed by Dortmund, City, Newcastle, and Barcelona and Liverpool. So that's your top 10. You look at who's in elimination: Juventus, Monaco, Bayer Leverkusen, Villarreal. So some teams there that are really looking at trying to turn things around. Did get to speak a little bit about our thoughts on Champions League. We got Tony a little fired up about what to do with Mo Salah. Do you keep him on the bench? Do you rotate, not bench? So we're going to give you some of our overreactions, or I'll make a statement and you guys tell me if I'm overreacting here, okay? So the first one that we have is 17-year-old Lennart Karl will be the next Bayern great. He got the start yesterday for Bayern Munich. Within 5 minutes, scored his first Champions League goal.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
It's obviously a really high bar, and that's really unfair to this kid, but he's been a big time talent for the German youth national team, going through the Bayern Munich ranks. Him starting in a Champions League game at 17 years old with the other options. Look at that bench. You got Nico Jackson, Serge Gnabry. You go on down the list, and he's the one who earned the start. And this is his first minutes with the first team. He had a couple games off the end of the bench last season and a couple games at the Club World Cup, but right now is when he's making his breakout. And for me, I understand that it's very, very early. It's one great goal. This might seem really dumb in a couple months if he's back playing with the U19s or he's on loan somewhere in January. But for me, this kid's the real deal. He's got it.
Either Bayern great or young German great?
Next Bayern great.
Oof, there have been a lot of great players at Bayern Munich. I'm going to go, no, that's an overreaction to me. I think he's going to be great. He looks like it, but I mean, he's 17. And you think about the history of Bayern. If he were at Bournemouth right now and doing this, I'd be like, oh, he's the next Bournemouth great. I'm the no disrespect.
Oh, you said he's the next Bayern great because Bayern would buy him from Bournemouth.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to put a pause on this one right now. Just a little overreaction, but what a player.
Fair enough. It is sometimes a little early to say things like that, and maybe puts a little pressure. But what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same. I'll say overreaction just because, again, it's one goal. He's a great player. We've seen him have success already with the U21s and with the German national team, with the youth German national team. But let's pump the brakes a bit. Let's let him continue to develop. Let's not put that pressure on the kid. But I do think that he has it in him, but we need to see more before we say he's going to be one of the Bayern greats because, like you mentioned, Tony, it's a pretty high bar at a club like Bayern Munich.
Yeah, breaking into the scene with Bayern Munich, it won't be easy for him, but one guy that we've been able to see do a great job with the club that he's been at, Marcus Rashford with Barcelona right now. So do you think, or let me make the statement, Marcus Rashford should start when Barca's fully healthy? Overreaction, or is that fair?
I think that's fair because you can play Rafinha through the middle where he had so much success with Hansi Flick. I know he can play. He's really, really great off the left, but he's really good kind of as a second forward as well to let Rashford come in on that left wing. So for me, I think that's what I'd like to see moving forward with everybody fit. And at least he should get the first crack to see if that combination is the absolute right one.
So not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Tony, what are you thinking?
Same for me, right?
Not an overreaction.
I think, especially if you're scoring goals, you got to keep him in the lineup. And I'm with Tom here. Rafinha can go to the middle of the field almost still. I think that's where you might see some rotation. Leaving Rafinha, it's tough, but I think he's got to be on the field.
I will say that that's an overreaction. I think that Marcus Rashford has been great, but I think that we've seen this Barcelona team last season be the best offensive team, one of the best offensive teams we've ever seen as far as scoring goals, and they did that with Rafinha, with Lewandowski, with Dani Olmo, and with obviously Lamine Yamal. I think that Marcus Rashford is a great addition to this team, and I think he'll be great in spot starts and coming off of the bench. But I think when everyone's fit, you want to have that front four that we saw last year absolutely dominate Europe from an offensive standpoint on the pitch. And I think that if he's coming off the bench, I think we'll get the best out of him as a rotation player, spot starts, and coming in as that first sub off the bench when they need some goals.
I love the different opinions between all of you guys. Okay, the last one is Antonio Conte's Napoli won't make it past the league phase. Is that an overreaction?
Overreaction. There is so much time left in this league phase. 24 of the 36 get through. I doubt that Napoli is not going to find a way to at least get into 24th to get into that first knockout stage. For me, overreaction. Napoli's too good to miss this, and I don't think that the bar is high enough for them to miss.
100% in a forgiving format like we're seeing here in Champions League, right? And only 8 teams. I mean, they certainly are in the top 24 teams. A bad day yesterday, there's no denying that, or 2 days ago, there's no denying that. This guy's a madman when it comes to tactics and sitting and making adjustments and doing all that stuff. I think he gets it right. He gets through the league phase.
Okay.
I was going back and forth on this because my initial thought is, no, I don't think they're going to make it because they've looked pretty bad. Even early in the season when they were getting results, they really didn't convince you that they were the best team. Like, we were all calling them the best team in Italy when the season started. And they've looked pretty bad as these weeks have gone along. But like you mentioned, Tony, I do think that Conte will kind of get in that back room and we'll figure things out with the players that he has. And I do think that they'll get right. I don't think that they will go far in the Champions League, but I do think that they'll make the league phase.
The one thing to add, though, which kind of probably adds to your argument, he's not been great in Europe.
No.
He doesn't have great success managing in Europe, right? So he's got to do some figuring out, not only with his team, but the way that he wants to approach things.
Yeah, and this is a team, right, where a couple seasons ago when they won Scudetto, they didn't get this team properly ready to compete in Europe. They did that this summer. They did bring players in. They added to this squad to compete in the Champions League. It hasn't really come good these last couple games, but there's still time to figure things out.
Yeah. Should they focus more on league play than Champions League?
It's tough. In Serie A, I mean, I suppose because they're not so deep, you could make that argument. But they just won the Serie A here 2 times in the last 3 seasons. After, 31 years of not winning it? I would think they want to have a little bit of European success, if you will. But like Stefano says, I don't see this team's not winning Champions League.
Yeah.
Right? They're not built that way.